Hello everyone, Bardic Nerd here, returning with my Let's Play of Millennia. We have been working hard to conquer the world, and we are up here. Our troops are up to fight Russia, who has been consistently giving us some trouble, so I think it's time we give them some trouble. They keep trying to invade us, well, now we'll invade them. Um, so, here we go, Crusaders. Um, yeah. Oh. And looks like they have no leader. We have a good leader, so we're getting bonuses from our leader. Leaders give you pretty big bonuses. Um, so yes. Now our troops that are fighting Twang S2 over here are also going off to fully conquer them. Conquer all their cities. We are going to take Victus soon. Just positioning troops ready for an attack, and then they have some other places we can take. So, there. Right. Yes, and we can get more in our Crusaders national tradition. Holy Lands, yes. So Holy Lands, once we control additional religious birthplaces, then we'll get extra bonuses from controlling more religious birthplaces than just our own religious birthplaces. So, if you're gonna conquer other people that are of other religions, then Crusaders can be really, really good. It's absolutely wonderful for going to war with people who are not of your faith, as the name somewhat implies. Alright, let's see. Here we are, yep, just a lone little thing to harass. Got here, sending these up to also attack in Russia and building more Knights of the Order, aka Crusaders. What are we doing with those there? What are we doing something with them? I don't know. Or this is our other city, that we took from Brazil early on. Up. And we are researching Age of Renaissance to advance in the ages. Meanwhile, I am drinking tea. As I'm sure you all know, I always drink tea when I'm conquering the world, because drinking tea just makes conquering the world so much easier. It's, clearly how the British were able to do it, and all the tea drinking cultures in Asia were very successful at conquering their neighbors, oftentimes. Some of them were. But some of them made actually very impressive empires. And of course, then we Europeans discovered tea, and we were like, oh, this excellent beverage, we must conquer so that we can get it. But yes, I am drinking a new sort of tea that I have not had before, called the Grand Arbiter's Existential Despair. Tea Punk Teas has very imaginative names for their teas. I am very much here for that. It is a pura tea, which is a type of fermented black tea. The tea leaves themselves are fermented before you brew it. It's usually sold in like bricks, but this particular type is sold loose leaf. And this one is blended with plum extract and honey brandy. And it's quite tasty. Quite tasty. I'm having it just with a little bit of sugar, but I imagine you could also have it with other things, so very tasty. Mmm. Ah, yeah. Mmm. It's quite an interesting taste, really. So we're here, starting our attack. Starting our attack. Um, and, yeah, they're making, their troops are not really, that did some damage. So, but their militia is not being very useful. Okay, the cavalry is gonna. Yeah, now the cavalry is attacking the knights. I think we still get the bonus from the leader though, even though uh, he is routed. Um, and that's the main purpose of having a leader in your army. He's mostly there to make your other units fight better. They're not bad fighters themselves, but mostly they're there to make the other leads. And now their walls are down. And we do a little bit of damage to the other troops that they have there. Um, they keep attacking us, but they're not actually gonna knock us out of the fight. And they're gonna like rout them. Those are routed now. But that's just the end of the battle. Now I have other forces to bring up and to attack with. And yeah, and you see now we don't have walls to absorb stuff, so we can directly attack them and do all that much more damage. Their troops just can't stand up against my knights. And my archers are also very powerful too, and will deal them a lot of damage. But my crusaders are just gonna smash them. And like you see, they take not that much damage. And wow, yeah, that was like doing like 140. I think it was saying like 140 morale damage, which is just insane. Because nothing has more than 50, and most things have less than 50 morale. Most things have less morale than they have health. Actually, the barbarians have more morale than they have health. Actually, well, the barbarians, the berserker units. So, but yeah, I think I have like had them. Okay. What am I gonna do with them? I need to. I don't think I can take it this turn, so I want to get them away so they don't just take more. They don't get immediately overrun. But they have severely hurt the defenders of the town, ruined its defenses, so next turn I will likely be able to take it with ease. Alright. Now we'll get more knights. That's really fascinating tastes in that tea. It's just fascinating tastes. Not something that I usually associate with tea, and it looks really different than most tea too. It's super dark in color. Like it's almost the color of coffee. Almost the color of coffee, really. It's like not quite as dark as coffee. If you look at like the very edges of it, then like you can see where it's a little bit more see-through than coffee is. But like if you're looking straight down at it, it looks like black coffee. Which I see why they called it existential despair, because it is looking into a pool of blackness. Um, so, all right. Send this up. We can get the places over there. And fully take over Trangnestu. We'll have much of the continent in our grip before long. Right, so we put reinforcements on that. Okay, we do wait a turn or so, I guess. Because we do want the debuffs from the reinforcements and from the force march to wear off. Don't want to wait too long to let the stuff in the city recover, but if we just wait a turn or so, it shouldn't really recover much. Unless we have our raiders down here who can just do harassment. They can't really actually hurt enemy units much at this point. They're just not powerful enough anymore. Okay, so we've got culture power to use here. We getting crossbows now instead of knights, I guess. No, I was just being indecisive is what I was doing. Maybe I don't. I'm clearly very, very indecisive. Alright, and here we have gotten all the buildings, I guess, so we can build more Knights of the Order. Those wonderfully powerful units. They're so good. Alright. 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 Got a ranch there to get the cattle. Right. And we do the 4 forms there. Excellent. Okay, now we do a crossbow. Got 3 of those. Rush our culture, I think. So we get dinner, and what do we do? Want to do with it now? We could do something with it now, or we could hold it for the core forms in our other place. That's also a good option. Yeah. The leader there has gotten wounded, so we want to help him out. Alright. Okay. There we are. Just hold it out here. Got pillage to get some money. Can rebuild it easily later. What are we doing with those? I would just go and have them hang out there, I guess. Maybe I could make use of the bow raiders, I don't know. But, Yeah. And let's see here. Here we got right, yep. And I think this will probably be our final attack. Final battle of the invasion of this city. Yeah, the leader only does a little bit of damage himself, but you know he's making the other people fight 50% better. So leaders will improve the combat ability by a percentage, 10 times the tactics of the leader that is greater than the tactics of the enemy leader. So up to a total of 50%. So if you have a leader there, as I did, I had a level 6 leader, well, a leader with 6 tactics, and they had no leader, so I was capping out at 50% improvement. But if say they had a leader with 4 tactics, then my leader with 6 tactics would have been improving my stuff by 20%. So leaders are very important. Once you get to armies of a certain size, well, if you have just like size 3 and size 4 armies, maybe they're not as vital. But once you get to like size 5 armies, you probably want to have a leader in them. And in size 4 armies, you might want to think about having a leader. Although the leaders you're going to have at that level are probably not hugely influential ones, but all right. Looks like we are almost to the age of Renaissance here. We're continuing our advancing up here. Just some raiding to harass the Russians. Let's just go and see if I can do anything useful with this. Probably not. But theoretically, I could maybe send it to harass people and pillage stuff. Useful for that, I suppose. Oh, very delicious. Alright, more Crusaders. Let's see here. Right. And here we are with the Age of Renaissance. So, Yep. Yeah, sometimes has a weird bug where it says we're not what it says we're some other number than the first when we really are the first. I don't know why, but we probably want to get gunpowder. Presumably, although we may want to get some of the stuff from the previous episode. Printing press is also really important. But you know, we're conquering people. Gunpowder is really useful for conquering people, honestly. Oh, and we're gonna Eureka. Yeah, we're gonna Eureka to get that quicker. That makes sense. That does make sense. All right. Now let's see here. Anything going on? I don't know. Right. A jungle over there. War priests could have been nice over there, I suppose. War priests is very good if you have a lot of jungle. At least you can build some improvements in the jungle that are that give you a lot of food. But then of course you're not building lumber camps in the jungle, which are made what you really want in the jungle. So, all right. I think I'm not gonna attack right now. Well, I'm not gonna attack the city, but I could take out some of the other people, perhaps. Or I could let them rest and recover a little bit. Now here I can just very easily take this place. They can't really hurt me much at all, and I'm just gonna completely run over them, as you see. Just completely run over them. So that's that place taken, and Trias 2 has like it looks like 3 regions left, I think. So those are probably gonna fall fairly soon. Yeah, I got Argos up there, which they must have taken from the Greeks. Got I think one above Argos, probably another one they took from the Greeks. And one over on the other side. Surprised that they have one above Argos. I don't know. But that does seem to be what the black dots on the minimap say. So I'll see. Alright. That one there. Good. Alliance with Germany. Secure things. Let's see here. We are. Okay. What do we want to build there is the question. Got our army fully built there. I guess workshop we just got, yeah, we got, I think, okay, no, we've got our army fully composed. Getting more, we're starting to run out of money to fund our armies. We have a lot of armies. Probably as many armies as we really need, unless we want to fight like on 3 fronts at once, which we won't need to do particularly. We only need to fight on 2 fronts, and that's barely going to be a thing soon. But, you know, we are successfully waging a 2-front war, although we're not really making progress on one of the fronts. We're just like holding them. You know, we're preventing the Russians from making any progress and like having the war be fought on their ground, which is certainly hindering their economy. So that's what you want. If you're gonna fight a draw, you want the draw to be fought on the enemy's ground. Um, so, S2 is offering peace. Ha ha ha. No. 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 Trying S2, that would be silly. I'm about to crush you. Right. Okay. Dragoons. Building dragoons. Interesting. Okay. I guess that makes a little bit of sense. But really, I should be building more Knights of the Order, honestly. They're still very relevant in this age. They'll still be relevant even next age. But they're still very relevant at this age. Right. Culture. Another Eureka to get gunpowder next turn. Gunpowder next turn. That's interesting. Grunes are actually not counted as a cavalry unit. They are counted as a line unit. They're just a more mobile line unit. They're basically the equivalent of in this age you don't get a new line unit, so that's probably why I was making them. Oh, actually, I'm probably making them to turn them into leaders. That would actually make a whole lot of sense if I was making them to turn them into leaders. Because they're a better leader than I could get otherwise. Since they are from this age rather than from the previous age, better way to get a better leader. But they're the same type of unit as the spearmen, pikemen, and the musketeers. They just are a fast version of that costs slightly more maintenance. So might be one of the variants in stats. I can't remember for sure. But mostly they have pretty much exactly the same stats as their age equivalent of that line. Although in this particular age you get dragoons and you do not get one of that line, the spearmen, pikemen, musketeers line. So dragoons are better than the pikemen in every way, as I recall. Alright, coming up on the end of this session, we're gonna do a little bit more conquering here, but we've gotten quite a bit of progress made. We've taken some very nice places. Yeah, I'm clearly getting that to turn it into a leader. Taken a lot of Triastri's places. We're moving on. The rest of them, they're not going to be. They're clearly not at all relevant anymore, but they're not even going to exist soon. Cultural dilution. Yeah, that would make our culture costs of regions be a little bit more, but we hardly have any regions to have culture costs. So culture cost of integrated regions, that is, only integrated regions cost you cultural maintenance. The more you have, it increases like geometrically or something like that. Geometrically, exponentially. I think it's not exponential. I think it's geometric. But I can't remember the exact definitions of which one. So exponential is often used to mean any sort of increasing cost when it is a specific type of increasing thing that is not the same as a geometric increasing thing. Now we have arquebusiers. So we have more. Those are going to be better than the crossbows, of course. So our ranged units will now be very nicely powerful, and yeah, we'll just tear those apart. I'll tear them apart. And it won't be long before we're in a position to actually invade Russia. Which, we'll just have to make sure to not do it in the winter. Or something like that. Yes, because we're playing France, aren't we? Yes, we will not march on Moscow in the winter like Napoleon did. That would not that I don't think actually Moscow is a city in this game. So we will be fine. We will be fine. Alright. Right. There we do these raiders. These raiders are rapidly losing much of any use. They can still pillage just fine and like do some scouting for me, but like they're not gonna defeat like anything in combat. Except like maybe en masse they will defeat an enemy explorer or something, I guess. But right, and yeah, we get that to a later, and that to arquebusier. So that ready to go. Send it over so it can join the Russian front. And get more stuff. Get the theater for now. Don't have a ton of money to support more armies, but don't really need much in the way of more armies at this point. So, and the turn, and send some units to attack us and let their units get wiped out. Oh, hey, Germany is giving us some stuff. That's nice, Germany. Thank you. But we're gonna end this session here, and we'll pick up next session with more conquest. But until then, take care.